Hi there, I'm Michael with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the JR Products Propane Hose. Like most of your propane hoses, this is going to connect to your propane tank and to the regulator on your RV or travel trailer to allow you to run that propane into your system so you can power your propane-powered appliances. There are a few things that you want to focus in on when searching for a propane hose to make sure that it's going to work with your system and your setup. The first thing is obviously going to be the length. You want to make sure that it's going to be able to reach from your tank to your regulator. You're not going to need any adapter extensions or anything like that. Just one hose to reach between the 2 points. This hose is 2 feet long. In actual measurement, it's closer to about 25 inches, so you're going to have a little bit of wiggle room there. It's got an inner diameter of 1/4 of an inch, and that's pretty standard for most of these hoses. That's going to provide plenty of flow rate for you to make sure that you can power your appliances. The rubber hose is going to help resist any sort of kinks or cracking, so you're not going to have to worry about that. The next thing that you're going to want to focus in on are your connector fittings to make sure that these are going to work for you. The one here is the RV Type 1 ACME, sometimes called a QCC1 connection. This is going to be very versatile. It's going to work with almost all your gas cylinders. It screws onto your inlet valve there on the outside. It's going to use the outer threadings. One thing I really like about this is it screws on clockwise, so it's more intuitive for those of us who know the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey method. There are other connections that screw in the opposite direction, which can be a little bit confusing. You got to kind of pay attention to what you're doing. With this, you're not going to need any special tools to get it tightened down or anything. It works just by hand, so it'll be easy to get set up. Another nice thing about this QCC1 connection is it's going to have an internal back check that's going to prevent any sort of gas leaks. It's got a regulator inlet, so you don't have to worry about any of that. If it senses too much gas being released going through, it might think that there's a leak and it will go into bypass mode. It's pretty easy to get it out of the bypass mode, but that's just a safety device to ensure that you don't have gas leaks or anything like that. But this is going to have a nice high flow rate before it goes into that bypass mode, so you're not going to have to worry about it shutting down on you very often. It should power all of your appliances all at the same time. Work very well for you. The other thing that you're going to focus in on is the other connection here. This is a 1/4 inch male inverted flare end. That might not mean anything to you. If you don't know much about it, I'd say a quick rule of thumb to help you decide if this is the end that you need. Go out and look at your regulator. If it's got a gold adapter fitting, it's most likely going to use the male inverted flare. Whatever the case, you just want to make sure that this is going to mount onto your regulator. It's going to be compatible with it. This hose is designed for LP gas only. And of course, LP stands for liquid propane, so you don't want to use it for any other application, just for your propane going into your RV, or I guess in theory it could work for any other propane use, but only for propane. This hose is UL and CSA approved, so it's going to meet those high quality standards. It's going to hold up very well for you. Make sure that you are able to use those propane-powered appliances when you're out camping. That's going to complete our look at the JR Products Propane Hose.